Okay, so some more sex-linked problems for you. So now we're going to look at baldness. So for men, which side of the family should they look at to see if they will go bald? Is the question that we'll kind of come back to here. So again, baldness is a recessive trait. So this would be baldness, the recessive allele, okay? And this would just be like a normal pattern of hair, or not bald. Okay. Now, remember what the possible genotypes for females are. They are either going to be homozygous dominant for not being bald, right? They're going to be they're going to be carriers of it, and their future offspring could potentially get the trait for baldness, or they themselves could be bald, but less likely than a male. Whereas men are either going to not be bald or they're going to be bald, just because they only have one X chromosome. So let's go back to our question. So which side of the family should you look at to see if you are going to go bald? Well, if you're a man, your dad had to give you the Y chromosome to make you a man. So what that means is you need to go and look on your mother's side for patterns of baldness. So you would look at your grandfather, your mother's father, because if he is bald, then your mother could be, if she has normal hair patterns and she is not balding, then your mother would be heterozygous for baldness. And she could have given you either one, but there's a chance that she gave you this allele for baldness. So that's just a little trick to kind of see. And now we're going to watch a little video about it.
You've probably heard people say that if your mother's father was bald, you're more likely to lose those beautiful locks of hair down the road. But what truth is there to this? It turns out that one of the major contributors to hair loss is sex-linked. Humans have 46 chromosomes of DNA, of which 2 help to determine your sex, the X and the Y chromosome. If you're a female, you have 2 X chromosomes, but if you're a male, you have an X and a Y chromosome. Studies show that the most influential hair loss gene is located on the X chromosome only. What does this mean? Well, if you're a male, you get an X chromosome from your mother, but must receive a Y chromosome from your father, because if you got your father's X chromosome, you'd be a female. So if one of your mother's X chromosomes has this hair loss gene, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it from her. In this way, hair loss is partially hereditary and passed through the maternal side for males. Females, on the other hand, must get 2 copies of this gene, one on each X chromosome, in order to physically express it. So if your mother does express these traits, it means she will be passing an affected X chromosome to you. But why do we say to look at your mother's father? Well, if he has visible male pattern baldness, then your mother has at least 1 copy of the affected X chromosome from him. Because in order to have a daughter, he must have passed on his X chromosome, not his Y. The thing to note here is that this is just one of the contributors to hair loss, and while it's thought to be the most significant, many studies have found other hair-linked genes which aren't sex-linked at all, including some on the Y chromosome, meaning they can be transferred from both the mother and the father. On top of this, some studies have shown correlations between age, exercise, nutrition, and even stress levels. So while a quick check of your mom's dad's hair may be an indicator for future hair loss, a head full of hair on grandpa's head doesn't guarantee you're in the clear. Got a burning question you want answered? Ask it in the comments or on Facebook and Twitter.